everybody, Keith here for the Win It Minute brought to you by I Love Orlando. We have a special guest here, Diogo Esteves, founder of the Kingsmen Academy, and he just released his new book, The Journey of a Kingsman, an incredibly inspirational path and journey that you're gonna learn a little bit about. And he's also founder of the Kingsmen Academy. He moved to Orlando when he was just 17 years old from Brazil. First, Diogo, thank you for joining us, and tell us a little bit about your journey and this book and what it's meant for you to leave a legacy of helping others.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here for sure. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's always fun to share with people a little bit about your journey because you never know what somebody might be going through. I always tell people that every single one of us has a journey we're going through. We just maybe don't know how to deal with this sometimes, right? We all encounter roadblocks along the way that we don't really know what to do with them. So I think it's just the fact that we get to share with each other the experiences and the challenges and the wins that we've had in life make a big, big difference, no doubt about it.
That's excellent, And you also talk about building a life legacy, on your journey every single day. Tell us a little bit about that. What does it take to build an incredible life legacy?
I think it changes from person to person, obviously, but I think being able to leave a legacy is the very reason why we're in this world, right? I always often hear people say that, are you leaving this earth a little bit better than when you found it? And this is one of the things that have always driven me because I believe there's a reason why we're created to begin with. There's a reason why we're in this world. And I don't think that unless you're actually coming in to contribute to somebody's life, you're really living your life's purpose and you're not fulfilling your destiny per se. So leaving a legacy is such a big part of what we do in life because I think it's the reason why it drives us to begin with. That's the reason why we wake up each day. Most people, the way I see, are just, you and I know this, the world is so full of negativity that most people on a daily basis, all they're doing is waking up, going to work, getting a paycheck and then getting home and then just watching some TV, eating, going to bed, and then the next day they do it all over again. And they think they're really living, but they're not really living, they're existing.
Yeah.
And when they get to the end of their lives and they look back, what kind of legacy did they really leave? How much of an impact did they really make in the world? What impact did they cause? There was nothing. So they oftentimes, I usually meet people that they get to the end of their lives and they're seeking one thing in life and they sacrifice all the other areas to get to that one thing. But then when they're on a deathbed and they're just waiting to basically die, they look back and try to spend, maybe their wealth, which is the thing they've been pursuing all their lives, to get everything else back. So they sacrifice their relationships, their family, their health, and everything else to achieve that. And all of a sudden, they try to sacrifice that one thing to get everything else back. But because they have no more time, it doesn't do them any good. So What type of legacy did they really leave behind? Nothing.
No, that's incredible stuff. And you're a very inspired guy. Like I said, you founded the Kingsman Academy. You've just written this incredible new book. Where do you find inspiration from? What inspires you daily?
People like yourself, people that I meet on a daily basis, because I love seeing people doing something different with their lives. The thing that empowers me the most throughout the day is being able to see people grow and develop and step into a destiny that they were created for. And like I said, most people are not living their lives, they're just existing. They're doing barely enough to get by. So every time I see somebody like yourself or the people around me that are striving to do something better, that are just, stepping into a different reality, they're creating their reality. They're stepping into the destiny that the reason why they're created for. It just drives me, it empowers me, it makes me want to go out there and just, do it even more.
I mean, that's some deep stuff, and you have to have the right mindset, I think, to accomplish those things that you've been talking about. How did you develop that mindset, and what do you do daily to keep that mindset?
Well, like most people, I had to go through a lot of struggles. One of the things that I described in the book is that we are all going on a journey, like I mentioned earlier, but I actually went through 8 years of deep depression. So most people would look at me today and would never, ever think that happened. But there were so many things that happened in my life that it led me to get to where I am today, which is still a daily battle. We're always fighting with different things. We just went through a talk today through over stress, right? This is one of the things that rule people's lives today. And I think that we have to find that daily inspiration through people, through maybe materials that we're reading, through programs that we're watching, through books that we're reading, to be able to keep pushing forward, you know? So it's a daily thing. It's just like going to the gym. You don't develop a muscle by going to the gym once. This is something you have to do on a daily basis. And it isn't easy, especially when you're battling with something like a chemical imbalance in your brain, like I dealt with for the longest time. And I just thought that it was just something that I couldn't really explain what was going on. All of a sudden I found out it was just a chemical imbalance. That's all it was. So it's just always going out there and trying to find the answer to whatever problem you're going through other people. Maybe somebody's got an answer. You know, there's a reason, again, why they're here, and maybe the reason why they're in this world is to help you through that problem. So that's where I find my daily inspiration. I don't think we were created to be by ourselves, right? We're created to be in community. So once you finally understand that, again, it's just like a body, right? We're all parts of one body. You know, I might be the foot, you might be the hand, someone else might be the arm. And unless we're actually working together towards a greater good, I don't believe we can fully function how it was intended to function, how things are not going to happen the way they were supposed to happen. So I think being a community of like-minded individuals is the key to all of it. Because like I said, you're going to go through tough times. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And if you have other people around you, people that are willing to pour into your life and they're willing to help you through those challenging times, it just makes it all better. It just makes all the difference in the world. So being in community is key. There's no doubt about that.
Wow. Yeah, and I'm grateful that you're able to pour into my life and be in our community here. You know, speaking of that, you know, what do you love about Orlando? And this, you know, we're in downtown Winter Garden, but what do you love about Orlando?
Orlando is a fun place, and obviously we live right next to Disney World, which, you know, most people are, the reason why most people come to Orlando in the first place. I live about 15 minutes and I have 2 kids, a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old, that just love being there. But one of the things that I love most about Orlando is that you get to experience things that you wouldn't be able to experience in most places, right? There's so many people from all over the world that actually end up coming to Orlando to create a unique community that I think you can't find anywhere else.
And so you started also the Kingsmen Academy, you know, to help empower people live the life that they were meant to live. You know, tell us a little bit about that.
So one of the things that I was telling you earlier is that I believe that each and every one of us are in this world for a specific reason. And I think the reason why most people are living so frustrated is because they're not living out their life's purpose, you know? They're, like I said, they go to work 9 to 5, and then they get home, they watch some TV, they eat, they go to bed, and the next day they do the same thing. And they believe they're actually living. That's not living, they're existing. So I think there's a reason why we were created, and unless you're able to step into that destiny or that reason or that purpose, you're never really going to be able to find the fulfillment that you have. Now, the challenge that most people have is that they have no more time, right? Like I said, we spend all of our time focused on the wrong things, and our mental energy just gets drained to where you get to a point where you feel like doing nothing else. So I believe with all my heart that if you find a way to buy back your time, and you can't do this unless you manage your money properly and you generate enough passive income to meet and exceed your expenses, you're never going to be able to find true financial freedom and buy back your time. I finally understood the power of buying something back that I can't get more of. We only have 24 hours. So if you cannot get more back, what do? You have to buy that time back, period. And that'll free you up to do the things you really want with your life, you know? And everything changes from there on.
That's incredible. And time is incredibly important. You cannot waste time. You got to utilize it the right way. So, hey, we thank you for your time, for coming on here, inspiring others. And, you know, The Journey of a Kingsman. If you haven't seen it yet, it's out. Got to get it, got to read it. Very much appreciate Diogo. And, you know, get out there, win the day, The Journey of a Kingsman Way. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you for being here.